Check, check, check. You hear me?
Yeah. You get your mic fixed yet?
Look what I resurrected.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, the mic still doesn't work, but I was digging through our closet and I was like, oh, I thought I gave this away, but I still have it. It
Nice.
sounds much better.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to Yappin N Shxt, where we as brothers and friends hop on the mics and have conversations. Sometimes they're serious, sometimes they're not. Sometimes we react, and sometimes we just yap. We appreciate you tuning in and hope you enjoy the episode.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, just surviving out here.
Yeah, so I mean, how's it in Cali with this bomb cyclone off the do you guys even have the bomb cyclone going on right now?
Now, it's hitting like the northernmost tip of California, but it's not hitting
Yeah.
like our area. The only thing that we'll get is a little bit of rain from
Yeah.
it, but like we're not in the middle of all of the crazy, temperature
Yeah.
dropping like insanely, the winds, high winds, and then the snow, all that stuff.
Yeah, we're can't hear it, but yeah, it's very windy and gusty right now. Any moment, yeah, the power can go out. It's been flickering all day, or this evening,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's pretty intense, man. I mean, I just put my trash and recycle out. Luckily, they're like heavy loads this week,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of like thinking, hopefully, it doesn't blow
Oh,
down.
blow over and just
Yeah,
goes all over the place.
yeah, but I mean, we'll see how it happens, and if it does, then got to clean it up. Not much I can do.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. No, yeah, I was curious if it was just yeah, I didn't think how serious it was going to be, because the news is all over it, especially here in Washington. And then when it hits, it actually hits. Yeah, I mean, the wind is pouring right now. Things are blowing hard. Yeah, it's a pretty intense windstorm right now.
Yeah, I think Portland's getting the worst of it. The
Yeah.
Oregon coast is like, I think, is like the central of it.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah, I
think,
know the
yeah, like I said, Redding in California is like getting some of it, but that's on the other side of the mountains technically.
right.
Um,
Yeah. The
so
wind
it's
is yeah, it is rattling right now, the window. But yeah, that's what we experienced. Hopefully power's not out. Haven't seen the power go out yet, knock on wood. So right now it's been pretty good.
yeah, I know. I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's a blizzard warning essentially. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy,
Yeah.
at least for the
Um,
mountain passes and all that stuff. But
right. No, trucking along. It's been a week. Yeah, I heard I'm getting over a cold. Heard you're doing the same thing.
yeah, I ended up getting COVID from something last
Oh
week.
man.
So
Yeah, mine's just a cold. So yeah,
yeah,
that's
I thought mine was just a cold, and then like, um, then I had like the migraine pain, and I was like, I'm just gonna test just to be safe.
hmm
Yeah, it turned out positive, so I was like,
damn.
well, shit. But
Have
yeah, I feel like it wasn't nearly as bad as the last time, or I said last time, the first time that I got COVID. I feel like remember it distinctively different than what I have right now.
yeah,
Granted, obviously you have vaccines and all the things in you. So
right.
yeah, it was really just, migraine, headache. And then I didn't really even have a fever. Honestly, it was like a low grade fever at like
hmm
99. That's about as hot as I got though.
Yeah, I mean, feel better, man. Hopefully speedy recovery and it doesn't lead to anything else.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm more annoyed that if anything, I'm will have a lingering cough. You know how it is,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that'll be a 3 week process of that annoying me. But other than that,
Yeah.
no, it's no. Otherwise, I feel fairly fine. It was just really that day that kind of was
hmm
like meh, didn't feel great.
hmm All
But
right, man. Well, hang in there. Uh no, not a lot of other news, but I have a couple of um discussion points that we could react to. Well, first one, I mean, The Seahawks, man. What does this mean? Big win
Yeah,
against
yeah.
the Niners. Yeah. And it wasn't like a fluke game, right? Like it wasn't like, oh, well the Niners I mean, yes, true, they're having a shitty season, but it wasn't like, oh, the Niners are across the board, a weak team. Even though they have a shitty season, their record sucks. Um, People are still scared of them. They're still contenders for possibly somehow, with a miracle, can be Super Bowl contenders. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
um, and you can't blame injuries. Because the Seahawks are just as bad with like injuries and young players. So if anything, this was still a big time game and a big time win.
Oh no, absolutely. I think it did speak volumes to when Bosa went out though, obviously.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah,
that's when we
yeah,
scored, all of our
yeah.
points. But
He's another Aaron Donald, unfortunately. Um, 2.0, but yeah, I wouldn't say he's completely Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald can quite literally by himself take over a game, where Nick Bosa can disrupt a game, obviously, as well as he can, but he doesn't command a double team, where Aaron Donald commands double team, triple team. It's yeah. But no, it's a huge win, and I'm excited for it, especially with like it seems like the Seahawks D is gelling together really well. So yeah, can't complain. Excited for it to see what it looks like next week, especially a big division rival game.
yeah,
Um,
with the division leading Cardinals
yeah, at 6-5.
at
Yeah, I mean
six and
this
five.
this this possibly can be one of those um biggest this season for Mike McDonald, and especially if we make the playoffs, is definitely going to be reminiscent of that Pete Carroll year.
Yeah, that 7-9 Pete year.
Yeah, 7-9. Yeah, hopefully, we're not going to make the playoffs at 7-9. Um, you know, um, but in terms of the feeling, this is reminiscent of that exact feeling as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I was thinking about that the other day because I was like, 6-5 has got the lead in the division, and the other three teams are 5-5. It's like
Yeah,
the tightest division in football
yeah,
right now. So
yeah. I was just listening to I've been that win's been amazing. So I've been usually I don't really care. In the past couple of years has been pretty boring, but this year, I've been excited to follow along, especially this last win. And usually I don't care about listening to podcasts or listening to the news and stuff and see what people around the country are saying about the Seahawks, but I've been watching a lot more um podcasts and videos lately, and I don't know, I'm kind of hyped, man, especially if the Seahawks pull it out next week. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun season to watch. Because a lot of people, yeah, they're not hyping up the Seahawks to win the division or even making the playoffs. But there was one guy that I was watching on ESPN. I forgot his name, but I was just watching on YouTube. He was like, the Seahawks can surprise a lot of people. It's they're like the little quiet kid in the corner that no one expects. And then they come out and start punching people hard in the mouth, and surprising everyone. This is the Seahawks right now. So I'm ready to see, man. I'm excited for it.
oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
It was a good win. It was nice wearing my Seahawks stuff down here.
Yeah.
Getting most of the side eye
Yeah.
glances of people flipping me off and cursing at
Yeah.
me. But again, it's mostly the fans. Like,
Yeah.
but I digress.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean it was a good win. It was a good win.
Yeah.
It was much needed. We had lost the previous 6 matches, so
Yeah. Yeah. So nice. Well, we'll when we are feeling better in the end of the week, we'll catch up next week about and we'll see where we go from here.
yeah,
Um
excited to see
yeah.
how the next week goes.
Yeah. I just heard a loud bang against my window. Hopefully like a tree branch didn't just fly around.
Oh yeah.
Um yeah. But anyways, last topic of the night, just so we can wrap it up and move on. You get better and me prepare for the worst in case of the lights go out or anything. Um I had my nieces over last weekend, and you know how for those who've been following, and Tyler, all these Gen Z slangs is what I get caught up on, when I have them around. And so there's this new thing going on. I don't know if it's new. Maybe you've heard of it, but this is new to me because she shared me this meme that's very popular around this time of year. But I don't know if it's a Gen Z thing or maybe it's just the old millennials in us. But it's a very niche meme, but it's not niche enough where it's like people don't know about it. It's still a viral but niche meme. So so you see a blue looking Grinch, and on the blue looking Grinch is a tagline that says that feeling when knee surgery is tomorrow. and um and so I had to look it up because it kind of like low key pissed me off where it's like where it does not make sense at all to me that it's a viral meme. Look it up. Just type in blue Grinch knee surgery meme, and it's a thing. And it pissed me off because she'll laugh and she'll keep sending to me, and she even drew a picture and like posted it on like my master bedroom mirror so that like
Oh
I
my
can
gosh.
I always see it. But I looked it up. It's on Reddit. It's explained on Reddit. The point is, and the lure of it is that it's not supposed to make sense. It's like literally someone created this actually, um, I guess back in like 2018 or 2019 or something like that. And and people just went with it and it's not supposed to make sense and people just go along with it. And that's kind of like the whole stick about it. But it annoys me because it's like, it's funny. You laugh at it, but then it's also like, what the fuck does this even mean? But I don't know if you looked it up, but
I've seen it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, man, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old, but I'm shocked more and more every day of these like new memes. I can't catch up, but it's hilarious to me.
Memes that just don't make sense.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess like we kind of like. I mean, we grew up in the like the office era and stuff like that, but this was something different. That kind of just blew my mind, right? Like we grew up in the office era where the sarcasm was very heavy. Um, but yeah, this was a whole new a meta world for me. But yeah, I mean, the more you know, right? I'm getting all these updates from like my neighborhood app.
Yeah.
Yeah, the power slowly um going out more and more across the neighborhood. So yeah, we'll wrap it up.
I mean, if the lights drop behind you, it's not the
Yeah,
end of the world. You can still talk
yeah, hopefully.
for at least half an
Uh
hour.
yeah. But anyways, that's all I got today. It's kind of slow news week overall. And you know what we mean by slow news week.
Surprised
Um
you didn't bring up the boxing match that
oh yeah, I
the
totally
joke
forgot
of a
about that.
match that happened this
Yeah.
past
Yeah, I actually
weekend.
watched that too. Yeah. A lot of conspiracy going around it. Um but honestly, man, um uh yeah, I mean, like they said, Jake Paul is definitely um uh who knows, maybe not the greatest fighter in the world, right? I mean, he's a good fighter, but not the greatest, like to change the game. But he is definitely the greatest promoter
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
boxing has ever seen.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
what do you
would
think about it?
agree. I would agree. Promoting.
Yeah, he
I
got
think.
people watching.
Yeah, I was gonna say at this point, I think and I've said this for years now. I think boxing is a very corrupt sport
Yeah,
as
yeah,
it is. But this whole debacle, um, it was one of those things. Like, first of all, in 49 of the 50 states, it's technically illegal to fight someone in a boxing ring if there's more than 10 years difference.
yeah.
Texas is the one state that you can
That's
fight
crazy. I did
someone.
not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun fact for all you listeners who are like, oh, crazy. No, that's actually like a rule. Like if you're putting on a boxing tournament or a match or anything like that, technically in 49 of the 50 states, it's illegal to have two
Wow.
people in the ring with more
Yeah.
than 10 years difference. Because a 27-year-old should not be fighting a 58-year-old guy.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
be honest here. There's
100%.
a 30-year difference here. Um, that said, this is still Mike fucking Tyson, right?
Yeah,
Who's still like a beast.
yeah,
And it was funny because like, I didn't watch the fight. I was working.
yeah,
So like by the time I got off of work and got home, the fight was pretty much over.
yeah,
And it's funny because like then I watched parts of it and it was like, oh, Tyson actually looked pretty decent in the first couple rounds.
yeah,
But then he danced around for 7 rounds and didn't do
yeah,
anything. Didn't throw a
yeah.
punch.
All of them.
And
None of them threw punches.
a lot of people were just like, oh, it's because he's old. He's just not moving very quick.
Nah.
I'm like, no, no, no. And then, obviously you have conspiracy theories and all
Yeah.
that stuff coming out and like, where, like Tyson gave him a really hard, I think it was just a right stab to the
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
And then and Paul, pinched or whatever. And
Yeah.
then it seemed like, a lot of the conspiracy there is like Paul was whispering in Tyson's ear, and Tyson like acknowledged it by like tapping his back 3 times, and then from that point on,
Yeah.
Mike didn't like throw a punch for the rest of the
Yep.
match for 7 rounds,
Yep.
which is crazy. Because is slow and for 58 years old, he's still pretty quick as for a boxer and everything, but
Yeah.
like yeah, there was definitely times where you go back and watch him like, oh, it looks like he's holding back. Like
Yeah.
he could have easily just
Yeah.
slammed him. Couple openings. Anyways, the whole point was, boxing it's already become a corrupt sport in
Oh
many
yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
And at this point it's like, this was just a huge promotion, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think Jake Paul or even Logan Paul in the post game interview or whatever saying like, "Oh, we'd kill Mike." I'm like, "No, you wouldn't." Let's be
Yeah.
honest here. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just all about the bag at that point. It was all about their money,
Oh,
and
100%.
that's really what it came down to. But
Yeah.
Netflix, they're not good at streaming. They're not
No.
YouTube. They're
No.
not Twitch. They're not any other the live streaming platforms.
Yeah. They need to get on it.
There was buffering a lot of the times. I think there's all the memes going around. It was like, oh, Netflix was buffering, but then it was like the 2 seconds that it stopped buffering. It was like when they were in the locker room and they showed Mike Tyson's like ass cheeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
I was
remember
like,
that.
wow. But
Yeah. I was like, I knew what he was doing.
yeah. But no, it was
Um.
kind of funny because like and to the point where Logan Paul ended up seeing it was that Antonio Brown,
Of course.
he's really leans into his CTE, right?
Yeah.
So he calls himself CTESPN
Oh,
because he
like.
was live at the fight, and because Netflix was having so many issues,
Yeah.
he live streamed it on Twitter or
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
And he had 7 some million people watching it on his live feed on Twitter. So then Logan Paul saw that and he was like, yo, what the heck? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're not getting any money from the viewership on this kind of thing,
Yeah.
So, but that
Yeah,
just
money
goes,
grab, man. That's why I'm
yeah,
not. I don't watch boxing too much unless like someone else is hosting a party and they put it on and I'm there. And usually like
oh
mostly
yeah,
my family. But no, man, I wouldn't bother to watch it. It's because again, it's like I mean, there's no way you could better the sport. Um,
yeah,
but it's just a big money grab. The only way you can better it, but then it's inhumane, is it's a required knockout or tap out to win the
right,
game. But that's
yeah,
inhumane. That's you can't force people to basically kill each other. You know, but so the idea of judging, yeah, I mean it's already yeah, it's already like I was just telling like the wife and like we were watching it together. We didn't have any issues with our streaming.
yeah,
But I mean obviously everyone's talking about the best fight all night was the two women headlining, which
mhm,
was an amazing fight. Brutal, by the way, with her eyelid and all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
But like everyone was cheering on the Puerto Rican fighter. I don't know her name, but forgot her name. But when it went to decision, I told him, you know, if it goes to decision, obviously the champion gets priority to win, no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
Even if
Castillo landed
yeah,
like 110 more
yeah,
punches or something, and I'm like,
yeah. But when it comes to judgment, the priority goes back to the champion, right? Unless it's
yeah,
unless it's a couple knockdowns provided. But since there was no knockdowns, and you're just going based off how many hits landed, even if you had 1,000 more than the champion, if it goes to decision, champions always win. That's what I've noticed. You know,
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, that's just how it is. I mean,
it's just how it is. Yeah, because
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, and it's in any sport. I'm not just talking about women fighting. I'm just talking about all boxing,
Oh yeah, yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Even
Totally.
UFC, right? Like
Yeah.
just it's just how it is. Is like they favor always the champ. Even the champ sucks, But if you don't knock down the champ or make knock them out or tap them down or anything like that, champ always wins.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what.
Yeah,
I mean, you look back at probably one of the more touted fights in I say recent years. It's been
yeah,
a I don't know how many years it's been since this point, but it's the last like big name fight just
yeah,
because I stopped following boxing in general. Um, when it was Mayweather and Pacquiao,
yeah, yeah,
you know, it went to the decision, and obviously Floyd Mayweather
yeah,
won that
yeah,
match. Wasn't even really by unanimous. They say unanimous, but it was like by
yeah,
1 point on each person or whatever.
yeah,
So yeah, but I
yeah,
would say yeah, it's just one of those things like split decisions or any goes to a decision. Yeah, normally favors
yeah,
the more popular
yeah,
person at that point.
yeah. All right, man. Before the power goes out and anything like that, any final thoughts to wrap it up?
Nah, I don't think so. I think it's a short week,
Mm-hmm.
crazy week, just because of this bomb cyclone that's hitting the
Yeah,
northwest right now. So
yeah,
stay safe up there, and stay dry and warm. I guess.
yeah, yeah.
As I
Thanks,
say,
man.
cold weather is dropping into the mid 20s or something,
Um,
something
I
like that.
mean, yeah, I mean, it says that, but I think it's more probably on the coast.
Oh,
It's just
coastal towns are getting hammered, but
yeah. I mean, if we're just getting the wind right now, I mean, it's still rainy right now, but kind of mid 40s. It's just more of the wind that's affecting
yeah,
us right now. It's less of the cold weather. It's raining too, but it's just the wind.
yeah,
All right,
that's
man.
fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to what you said, everyone stay safe, especially if you're experiencing this bomb cyclone and anywhere else around the world, stay safe. Um, yeah, man. Have a good night. Keep talking with one another. Keep thinking together. Keep each other in our thoughts. Have a good night. See you next week.